Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings. Welcome to E-Commerce Conversations, a weekly podcast from Practical E-Commerce, hosted by entrepreneur Eric Bandholz.
What is going on, Internet? Eric Bandholz back again with another E-Commerce Conversations. Hope all is going well on the other side of the Internet. On the other side of the table from me, Natalie. What's up?
Eric, oh my gosh, I am so excited to be here. You are like such an icon in the e-com space. I love the podcast, and I'm just so thrilled to be here with you.
Well, you know, the pleasure is all mine. You may notice Natalie's got a little bit of raspy voice. Can you tell our listeners why?
Well, we are currently meeting in Fort Lauderdale at Sellers Summit, which is my absolute favorite e-commerce event. I come every single year. It's a blast. Steve Chu and Tony Herbach run this event, and they do such a good job. There's a mastermind session. There's amazing speaker sessions with tons of learning. But my personal favorite part is all of the networking and fun that goes on and all of the awesome people that I get to meet, like yourself. Last night was the closing party, so I didn't get back to my room until about 4 a.m. So I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. So apologize to the listeners.
No apology needed. I'm excited for this conversation. Why don't you give our listeners a real quick rundown of who you are, what you do?
So my name is Natalie Mounter. I'm the owner of Totally Dazzled, where we sell what I lovingly refer to as bling. It's sparkly craft supplies, mainly for weddings and crafts.
Yeah. And you've been doing it for how long?
12 years.
Yeah. So that's kind of one thing I want to talk about. You and I, we launched our brand in 2012 and then our store in 2013. So you launched your store in 2012?
2012 as well. I started with an Etsy store, and then once that got some traction and I realized, I had a real business, then we started our Shopify, and now we're 100% Shopify.
Yeah. How long did it take to make that transition between like Etsy and...
I would say maybe a little bit less than 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, and Etsy was kind of big. I don't know if Etsy's still big.
I think some people are selling on there, but for us, like our Shopify store just overtook the Etsy sales to the point where, the incremental revenue from Etsy just didn't make sense to add all that added complexity of a second marketplace.
Well, and they kind of like push people out too, don't? Like if you find success in Etsy, they're like, you can no longer sell it. Or in the early days, that's kind of how it was, it seemed.
For us, it was just it's a lifestyle business for me, always has been. I started it when I was pregnant with my first kid. And so, it was just about like Shopify. I have full control. It's less stressful for me and just simpler.
Yeah. So I think your business from the outside, from my perspective, seems like it checks a lot of like the things you want in e-com, like a small product.
Yep.
Right? Doesn't perish, does it?
No.
So you can have them forever.
Forever.
If you overstock. I mean, you were talking about this last night. You overstocked a little bit, so you'll discount if you order too much inventory?
Yeah, so we were really fortunate during the pandemic to have like a huge growth spurt because obviously most e-commerce sellers, everyone started buying online, number one. And number two, because we're in the crafting space, people are at home looking for things to do. So our crafting market really took off, which was great because the wedding side of the business completely died off because nobody was getting married during the pandemic. So as great as that was though, and because we were growing so fast, we started ordering more and more and more inventory. So last year we ended up like in a situation where we definitely were overstocked on inventory. So yeah, we had to do a lot of discounting this year to get back into a healthy inventory and position. So that's not fun, but I think we're in a better place now and should have a great following year.
Yeah. So one of the things you said earlier is like, this is a lifestyle business. Like, what does that mean to you?
So the whole reason I started the business was just because I was looking for something to be at home with my kids that I could, work the hours that I wanted to work, like while they're sleeping or whenever I could find time. So that's kind of how I've looked at it from the beginning. Like it started with it's so cliche, but started with like reading the 4-Hour Work Week and thinking this sounds perfect for motherhood. And then as the business grew, I was just very fortunate to find some key people that were extremely like independent and hardworking, and that I could really like offload stuff to. So to keep my hours to a minimum so I could still be with my kids. And I found for me, being a stay-at-home mom, hiring other stay-at-home moms has been like one of my best keys to success, because I know I can get really high quality people for an affordable price that they also just want freedom and independence. And if I can give them that, they're like beyond thrilled, because it's really hard to find a work from home job, but e-com suits it.
How are you finding stay-at-home moms? Are there any job boards that you post this to, or is it just all referrals? Or
I do a mix. So the one website that I have used is called hiremymom.com. They're a great resource if you're looking to hire, like if you need somebody, like stateside to work for you, and it's maybe there's a language thing you need or whatever it is. I just find that they're the best team members because they're smart, they're hardworking, they're very efficient because they want to get back to their kids. But I also have done just some local networking. My very first team member was actually my cousin, who also had just recently had a baby and was like desperately looking for a stay-at-home mom job. Couldn't find anything anywhere that was decent. I'm Canadian, actually, and so I was shipping all of my products from Canada, but most of my customers were in the US. My cousin is in California. So I was like, hey, you need a stay-at-home job. I need US fulfillment. Why don't I send you all my inventory and you can do fulfillment for me? And that was like 10 years ago, and we've been working together ever since.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about like those roles that you have. Like what type of roles are moms in? Is it customer service? Is it, fulfillment, you said?
Yep. So my cousin who does my fulfillment, she also does my customer service. She does a little bit of like social media stuff. And then my other key team member, who's also a stay-at-home mom with like a one-woman marketing agency, I guess. She does like all of our marketing. So our Facebook ads, our email marketing, our SMS. I basically just do the planning and the vision. And then we meet monthly. I give her my rundown of what I want to do for the month in terms of like email campaigns and different things we have going on. And then she executes it all. So it's very hands off for me. They both do an amazing job. I'm so grateful for both of them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how asynchronous like work can be done. Mm-hmm. Like so much work can be done on your team members' time for whatever that looks like. And then it's really just like the conversations that you need to have on the same page. So if you have flexibility for that, I don't know, like maybe with the exception of like telephone customer service is like about the only one where you might have to set hours.
Yeah. So this is like, we do have a couple of time sensitive tasks, and that's the only reason I do have one VA in the Philippines, and basically she does any of the time sensitive tasks, because that's the one thing that like when you're working with a stay-at-home mom, it's all about flexibility. So as long as they can work on their own time, it's gold for them.
Yeah. So what are those time sensitive tasks that you have your VA in the Philippines doing?
Things like we have a team of affiliates and brand ambassadors. The brand ambassadors are like our content creation team. So they go live on our Facebook page 5 days a week. And when they go live and make a crafting video on Facebook, we send a text message to our whole SMS list to notify them like, hey, we're live and whatever. And we cannot send that without getting the link to the Facebook post, which does not exist basically until they go live. So like things like that, but it's only a handful of tasks. So it's almost nothing that is time sensitive.
Let's talk a little bit more about that strategy. Is that your primary way that you're growing your business or marketing your business?
Yeah. So affiliates are like our number one traffic source, I guess. I love working with affiliates because I feel like it's so much less stressful and also less risky than something like Facebook ads. You know, with Facebook ads, you spend all this money and you hope and pray that your ads are going to work. There's no guarantee of a return, but your cash is gone. So it's a lot more pressure versus working with affiliates. You know, we onboard affiliates, and all we do up front is send them a free product, and then we incentivize them with an affiliate commission. But basically, we're not out any cash until they actually make a sale. So it's a far less risky strategy to me, and I would much rather give my money to other women content creators than to Mark Zuckerberg.
Speaking my language. So how are you finding these, you call them affiliates. I assume they're more like content creators, or are you doing like blogs and
they're
stuff
more,
like that as
yeah, they're definitely more content creators. I love working with video creators because I feel that video is like the most powerful medium to convey a message. Video creators, I think, have the best trust with their audiences, and I just find them to be the most effective to work with. So we focus on people who are making video content. And all I really do, I started with YouTube affiliates. So I would just like, I was thinking if I was making a video for Totally Dazzled, like what would I want? I would want like DIY brooch bouquet or something. So I just started typing into Google DIY brooch bouquet, and the types of creators that were making those types of videos, I just reached out to them manually. You can find people's contact method on their YouTube channels. Yeah. Email them. And basically like we just say like, hey, can we pay you to promote us? And we just let them know like, hey, we have this great product. We think it's a great fit for your channel. And if we're also willing to provide you a commission on any sales that you make. And we've had a lot of success with that strategy.
So are you still doing the outreach? Is that on your plate, or do you work with one of your moms to handle that?
Well, the beautiful thing about affiliates is that at the beginning, the outreach can feel really daunting, and it does take a lot of time for sure. But the beautiful thing about it is that once you have a network of affiliates working for you, the word in the community kind of like gets out because they see, oh, this person creates the same kind of content as me. She's promoting Totally Dazzled. She's making money. I want to do the same. So what ends up happening is you have to do a lot less outreach over time because other affiliates start reaching out to you asking to be part of your affiliate program. So we still do some outreach, but not nearly as much as we used to in the old days because...
Is that handled by you though?
Outreach, if and
or
when
like
we...
New
relationships is usually handled by me, but then... the VA and my cousin will do a lot of like the day-to-day communication with them.
What does that look like? Do you set KPI metrics like reach out to this many creators a day or a month or whatever? Or how do you make sure that you're staying in touch with them and that content creator really feels love and is almost top of mind?
Yeah, so we do a couple of things. So once they sign up to be affiliates, they get added to our Klaviyo list, but they get a special tag for being an affiliate. And what we do, because we have hundreds of affiliates at this point, so it's a little bit hard to be like extremely one-on-one with the communication when you have such a big group. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we send them specialized campaigns just to that affiliate segment on a very regular basis. We try to personalize the emails as much as we can and make them, as personable as we can. But we basically let them know, like, anytime we're launching a new product, we say, hey, we've got this awesome new product. We think you and your, audience would love it. If you're interested in receiving one for free, we'd love to send you one. Can't wait to see what you create with it. And then when they reply, the replies go to the VA. The VA creates the order in Shopify, and then it goes out to them.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about just giving them a code for like a free one and then skipping the whole VA part?
I get worried about codes because I feel like they might get abused. And sometimes what happens with affiliates is you get some on, but they're not necessarily performing. And so I feel like with the back and forth communication, it's a trigger for us to say, okay, Eric reached out to us. He wants more product. Let's go check out his dashboard in our affiliate software. Let's see how he's doing. Is he driving traffic? Is he making sales? If you're doing really well for us, we'll send you a bunch of stuff. If you're only giving like a little bit of traffic, we might just send you like one thing. Mm-hmm. So it is more tedious, but it allows us to keep tabs on people and just, really spoil the ones that are the high performers, but still keep the other ones engaged because they're still talking about us. And I think this is where a lot of people go wrong with affiliate marketing is that, they say, oh, I got these affiliates, but they're not making sales or whatever. But you have to look at it on a very holistic way, because what happens is all those people that are talking about you, they're all additional touch points. So like if you're, for example, like if you're a crafter, like our customers, and you see one creator talk about Totally Dazzled, and you might think, oh, well, I don't really like sparkle. Like I'm more like shabby chic or farmhouse style. But then you hear another one talking about Totally Dazzled, and another one and another one. And there's a real cumulative effect that happens. So to me, like, even if they're just making videos and talking about us, even if they're not like necessarily translating into a lot of sales, I still want to keep them talking about us because it's just another one of those additional touch points that eventually does close the sale.
Yeah. You talked earlier about using affiliate software. Which software is that? Is that targeted to those type of content creators?
Yeah. So we use an app called Refersion. I'm not married to it. There's plenty of apps on Shopify for affiliate tracking and stuff. So that one I can speak about, but there's lots of other good options. And the beauty of it is, like, I think when I first set it up, it took like maybe an hour. All you need to do is like decide on your commission. So that's a really big deal. We like to offer a higher commission than like an Amazon would, because obviously the conversion rate on our website isn't going to be as high as on Amazon. We like to incentivize them, with a higher commission. And then you have to decide on your cookie window. So basically the length of time between somebody clicks on their affiliate link to the time they purchase, you want to decide on that. We're pretty generous with our commission and our cookie window. So we offer a 20% commission, 30-day cookie window. And the reason that I believe in being really generous with that is because so often what will happen with affiliates is that people will see their content and hear them saying, oh, I got this amazing embellishment from Totally Dazzled. But rather than click their affiliate link, they'll just Google Totally Dazzled, or they'll just go straight to our website. So, I think that's another thing to keep in mind when you're tracking your affiliate performance is that whatever your dashboard is telling you that they're actually doing much better than that, but they aren't getting credited or paid for it. So I really believe in being as generous as you possibly can with them.
Yeah. So, I was going to ask about that next. Like, where are they putting the links? Is it usually in the comments or is it in the description? Because most people don't click to see the description on YouTube.
Right. So on YouTube, they would put it in the description box for sure. So yeah, that's exactly what I mean. They often don't get credit for the sale. So you have to be generous with them. But to me, it doesn't matter where they include the link as long as they include it. I don't micromanage them. I really let them do their thing. And I think that's a really big part of affiliate success as well. Like if you're reaching out to a new affiliate and you're kind of like a pain in the butt to deal with, and you're saying, okay, I'm giving you this free product, but I want this, and it has to be done in this many days and blah, blah, blah. That's a pain. That's like, no, thank you. They're busy. They it's just not attractive. Our method is very much like, hey, we believe in our product. We are confident you're going to love it. Here it is. You do it, like make a video if you like it, like do your thing with it. We find that they really appreciate that. And because we are so good to them and so easy and fun to work with, they're like so happy to talk about our business because they're like, wow, these people are like so fun and cool to work with. This is such a great company, right? Rather than being like, oh man, I have to promote this thing and they're such a pain to work with and whatever. So I just really believe that with affiliate marketing, you really have to focus on a relationship versus being super like metrics driven. And I think that's why a lot of people don't find success with it, because they don't focus on the relationship. They are too worried about how many sales they're making and whatever, versus just like nurturing the people and focusing on, building that long-term partnership.
What kind of pitfalls have you run into with managing the program?
The only thing that happened one time was we had somebody join who was not like a legit content creator. And I still to this day don't know what he was doing, but he was putting links in crazy places. And all of a sudden he spiked to the top of our affiliate leaderboard. And I was like, who is this? I don't even know who this is. And I could tell like he wasn't making any kind of legit content. So the sales were not legit. But the beautiful thing about, again, you're managing your own affiliate program is that you are in complete control. So you have full rights to remove anybody from your program at any time, change your terms at any time. So I just said, we owed him like $2,000. I was like, I just reached out to him. I was like, where are these sales coming from? He didn't have a good explanation. I said, well, we're not paying you and you're banned from our program.
Yeah.
Boom. And problem solved. So the way we get around that from happening now is that when somebody applies to our program, we just like ask for all of their socials, their blog link, their whatever. And so we're able to verify that they're legit, they're actually creating the type of content that we want, because we don't want people just reaching out to us for free product that are making like, you know, kitchen videos or something. That's totally irrelevant. So just including like asking them for those links on their application, and then we just review them. If it looks like a good fit, we approve them and it's done.
Yeah. So I'll tell our listeners a story that we had at Beard Brand. We had someone on our affiliate sign up, and what they would do is they got a bunch of stolen credit cards. They placed a lot of orders through their affiliate link. All these orders were fraudulent and bad. They're all like $115. It was like some kind of bot or something. And then the link was from, like, I looked at the website for where it came from and was like, this is not relevant at all. And so they're hoping to get the commission with a whole bunch of fake orders. And now we have all these fake orders. So it's like, not only did we have to like worry about this idea of commission going out to some scammer, but also like all these products now that are fraudulent that we have to deal with and went out and we have to pay for and get chargebacks on. So
wow. Yeah, you definitely need to review. You cannot just like auto accept people applying to the program, because that's when some sketchy people can get in.
There's so many like scammers and like quote unquote internet marketers out there who are less than honorable, like at creating their wealth.
Yeah, but just like giving them like a 60-second vetting process when they apply eliminates that. But yeah, if you because you can set it to just auto approve anybody who joins. Definitely don't recommend that, because that's how we get these types of people in the program.
What are you seeing in terms of like the revenue that they're generating? Is it just like a couple $100 a month, or any of them like really driving a significant amount?
So just like most things, the 80-20 rule definitely applies, and there's like a handful that drive most of the performance. But like I said before, I still want all the other ones in there. Some of them can drive, like we had one who the first time she talked about us made us like maybe $10,000 in sales like on the first day. And then we kind of struggled to like re-engage her for a while. I was like, oh my God, she needs to keep promoting us, right? But what we ended up doing with her, so we often do collabs with our top performing affiliates. So they get their own special branded bling pack, and it's kind of like a collab, and we give them a slightly higher commission on that. And that's how we re-engaged her. And the day that she launched her pack, we did $30,000 in one day.
Wow. What does that collab look like? Is it just special packaging effectively, or like do they get involved from the get-go to work on new unique things?
Yeah, so they get to choose their own styles. Like we make suggestions about, like the types of styles we think would be nice for them. So with that particular influencer, because she hadn't really promoted us that much, a lot of the styles in her 10-piece bling pack were like kind of more generic bling styles. But then we included like a couple special elements that fit with her brand and her audience. Like a lot of her audience is really faith-based, so we had a nice, beautiful cross in there. Her business is called The Shabby Tree, so we put a little tree in there. So we'll do small things like that because their audience wants a piece of them. So we find that's an important element. The second affiliate that we did a collab with was the opposite situation, where she's one of our brand ambassadors that goes live on our page every week. So her audience was very familiar with us, and most of them had bought from us before. So with her pack, we didn't want to include like any generic styles or anything similar to what's already on our website, because they probably already have it, right? So with hers, we did a lot of personalization. Like she likes like country western stuff. So we had like that type. We had like a horseshoe. She had lost her brother, unfortunately, that year, and red birds had been like very symbolic and meaningful for her. We included a red bird, stuff like that. And that was also super effective for us. But you have to keep those types of things in mind. But yeah, they just kind of have a hand in choosing the styles, and we just try to keep it easy. Like we just send them ideas and basically let them pick what they want.
Are you consuming all their content to like be on top of things, or like, because that's a lot. I mean, running a business and, like watching all your affiliates content. Yeah,
I wish I could say that I did. Like I try to from time to time, but because we have so many and because they're creating content like every single day, it's not possible. But yeah, like we try to, comment on their stuff and love on them as much as we can. But all of it, absolutely not.
Yep.
No.
How many followers are these affiliates or creators typically having?
So we have a big range. Like the one I talked about who did the 30,000 in one day, she has 1.7 million followers on Facebook. The other one, though, who performs just as well, she has about 200,000 followers on Facebook, but her audience is like, is just so well aligned for our product. So I actually think it's really important to have a mix of sizes because like it's really not a key determining factor on what their performance is going to be like.
Yeah, I feel like it seems like creators of that size always want to get paid versus being open to doing affiliate commissions. Are you running into any issues with that?
So when we started, this is part of the reason why I do recommend working with smaller people, because what happens is, again, because it's all about the relationship, if you're one of the first people that starts paying them money for their content as an affiliate, and over the years, as their audience grows, like they're always going to have a soft spot for you because you're one of like their early supporters, and they're just going to keep promoting you and supporting you back because you had their back from day one, So I think like working with the smaller people and just growing with them is like a very powerful part of the strategy.
Yeah. So you get in early, maintain that relationship, get those flows. I think that flows is like one thing we probably don't do very well with our relationships.
Yeah. So the thing with affiliates is like, it's just like, selling on our own website. People don't necessarily buy like the first time they hear about you, right? So like the more often the affiliate talks about you to their audience, the more likely that those people are eventually going to buy, because like you might hear about it once from that affiliate and like be like, oh, whatever, I'm not ready to do that. But if they keep talking about you and hyping you up, then they start to think, wow, like they really like this company. Like maybe I should give it a try. So it's really important to give them, because they're always looking for ideas and they need fresh content. So like the more you can send them like new stuff, we even let them know, like we let them know about sales we're having. We let them know about like charitable events charities we support. We just let them know about anything and everything that we're doing, because all of those things are like content ideas for them to use. So we're making their life easier and they're talking about us more.
Yeah. I want to circle back to, this being a lifestyle business, like you've been in it 12 years. I think a lot of entrepreneurs can't make it that long. How do you stay engaged in the business, avoid burnout, or just like, entrepreneurs, I think a lot of us deal with is just the monotony. Like once you solve the problem, and especially in a lifestyle business, like, how do you balance that act?
Well, I definitely struggle with that. Like I'm in a situation or a season right now where I'm not feeling quite as inspired as I used to. But I think one of the things that helps me stay motivated is just like remembering the why all the time and like focusing on gratitude, like, focusing on reminding myself like, holy cow, like I've been able to raise my kids, never miss anything, not have a stress when they're sick, be able to take time off, and just try to have gratitude and appreciation for it on that level. And that helps me to, at least stay appreciative and somewhat engaged. But I think like with entrepreneurship, it's such a roller coaster ride. There's ups, there's downs, there's loop-de-loops. And I think just sticking the course is the key, because eventually, you get re-engaged. Like for me, I was in this state of mind right before the pandemic as well. But like when the pandemic hit and like everybody was in like such a state of shock, I was already set up to work from home. Like nothing in my life changed. My gratitude for the business like exploded. Our sales were exploding. So I think it's just part of the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, do you think there's, like, what do you think what are those moments when you start to get like disengaged from the business? Like, what's happening in the business where you start to think about like, do I want to do this? Should I,
I think
move
like,
on?
yeah, like obviously whenever sales are down a bit, so we're down a little bit from our pandemic highs, but still way up from where we were before the pandemic. So whenever you're on a down cycle, it's a little bit hard to stay super excited, I guess. And like, yeah, I think like what you mentioned about like not having a lot of fresh new problems to solve is a big part of it too. So trying to find maybe, new marketing strategies, new product lines, like different things just to keep it fresh and exciting is definitely a key to breaking out of the rut.
Right, because what would you do if you didn't have the business?
I'd probably just be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
But I love it because like it gives me such purpose and like makes me feel like a more full, complete human. I have things to talk about. I'm learning new things. And so I'm really grateful to have the business, even though, it's only a few hours a week or whatever that I'm working on it. Yeah, just because it makes me feel like more of a well-rounded human being.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can people support you? Where can they buy your product?
Totallydazzled.com is the best place to find us. And then all of our socials and everything are on the website. So yeah, we'd appreciate it. Most of our content is on our Facebook page. So if you want to see what we're doing with our brand ambassadors and things like that, Facebook is a great place to look.
Are you on X at all?
No.
Oh, you got to get on X.
Well, all of our customers are like crafty grandmas. So they're Facebook users.
Yeah, I mean, so don't use X for business.
Oh,
use
for
it for personal.
For my own personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the business account.
Okay. I'll get on there.
Okay.
You convinced me.
All right. This has been another e-commerce conversations. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Cheers. Keep on growing.